Can you guys hear that or not?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I wasn't sure because it wasn't
No, that was
really
cool.
playing.
I was like, what's happening?
I wasn't sure if that was working. I wasn't sure if that was working or not because like I couldn't hear shit.
Felt like the Joker hacked in or some shit.
Anyways, let's go ahead and start the episode. Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Gil, your host. A little chaotic here, but we got a bunch of co-hosts tonight. We got my usual crew here. We got J. Roo, finally back.
Live from the inside of Mark Spector's psyche, it's J. Roo.
Hey, and then we got Major.
We've actually revealed his true identity. He is actually Khonshu. So
Khonshu.
He's been pretending to be MoonKnight this whole time, but we have the real MoonKnight on tonight, so we'll be revealing him shortly. I'm Mr. Reaction coming at you. What about the man to my far right in the Wolverine short, supporting a character that's not involved with this show whatsoever? Introduce yourself, please.
Hello, everybody. It's Ghost Knight. How y'all doing?
There we go.
Oh man.
Let's go. Who else we got here tonight? We got the MoonKnight with the double zeros and the 1.
What's going on, everybody?
We got Jake Lockley.
What's up, guys? What's up, boys? Ready to kick this off, man.
Could have did that in Spanish.
And yeah, for real. Yo, and Major, you didn't get a nickname for fucking Oscar, but we got Oscar here with us. Savage.
I was gonna name him Scarlet Scarab, but I didn't know
Scarlet Scarab.
Oh, the Scarlet Scarab, Oscar. There you go.
And Khonshu be with all you.
Cool.
And also with you.
I guess we can name it Amit, right?
Yeah.
Amit. There you go. You can be Amit.
All right, so this should be a fun one tonight, guys. We're talking about the finale. Let me go ahead and press play back here. The finale of MoonKnight, and not the series finale, but the season finale, as it's been said a couple times. Uh-huh. So I kind of want to start off with Dave because he's the MoonKnight stan. What'd you think of the finale and overall as a season, man?
Yeah, so I'll start with the overall season. Loved it. Definitely my favorite MCU show that they've done so far. But that finale, wasn't a big fan of it. I'm really interested to see what you guys have to say, your takes on it, if they're similar to mine. But I was just kind of left a little bit unfulfilled on some things. I'm not a big fan of those kind of hard cut off scenes, where it's just like, that's the episode, and it's kind of leaving you more. There is some choices that they made, we'll get into it, I'm sure, but I wish they went a little different directions with it. So yeah, I gotta unfortunately say I wasn't a big fan of it. My favorite episode by far was episode 5 of the season, though. But yeah, a little left on the plate for that season finale for me.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It was just like this big display of fireworks, and then for the grand finale, you got a snake. One of those little ash snakes that.
I don't know if it's because I'm not a fan of kaiju or kaiju films, but it was very much like watching some Godzilla action, and we talked about the CGI on I think you guys have talked about it every episode. But it was really rough, so the water kind of stuff from the boat, and I mean, obviously, when they're huge kaiju, creatures, it was a little rough for sure. Probably the worst CGI of every episode.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like it's like Michael Bay took over for the last episode or something. It was all show, because it was like, this is not exactly what I thought the ending was going to be. And I agree with you, man. Like that ending, it felt very Soprano to me, where it just kind of cut and I wasn't ready for it. And I didn't feel fulfilled. I felt like something else was coming. And even that mid-credit scene, it didn't do it for me.
See, this is the part where I feel like the crappy CGI didn't matter because we're having these two god manifestations fighting each other. So in all reality, that's technically not even really happening, because if you see the scene when they're like fighting, there's like nothing really going on. The people aren't really seeing anything. It's just like wind blowing and like destruction happening. So like in all reality, the manifestations of the gods, I don't really feel like has to be so realistic because it's more metaphysical. So in that part, I don't really mind the CGI being bad. It's more when it comes to like Moon Knight, because he's supposed to be grounded in reality. So when he looks CGI, that's what really takes me out of it. I've never had a problem with Khonshu being more of a CGI construct because he's kind of more of the mystical realm and he's not really actually here, for the most part.
Yeah, and even with that though being said, like with Khonshu fighting like that, I don't know about you guys how you felt about it, but to me it kind of seemed like two gods fighting each other like that, especially mythical Egyptian gods. That's not exactly what I would have imagined that they would be fighting like. I kind of imagine a lot of magic and power and like mystical type of shit, but it was like Godzilla fighting King Kong, and that's not what I wanted to see. It just felt very wrong.
So you wanted them to pull out their dual decks and just start going at it, right? Like summoning the god cards.
Duel.
That's the kind of Egyptian battling you wanted, right?
That's exactly what I wanted.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was looking for a little
The
more of that too,
Millennium
to be
Puzzle.
honest with you, Oscar. I was looking for more of that too.
Yeah. All right.
But the kaiju battle was nice. I thought it was cool. It was funny. I was super unexpected. I really did not expect them to grow to like giant proportions and just start battling it out over Egypt. So that kind of caught me off guard. But at the same time, I was kind of enjoying it. But it was like they were in slow motion the whole time as well. So that was kind of like, come on, like these are two gods. They should be able to like do some damage.
Let's hear from Geeky and Christian.
I thought it was pretty entertaining. But like it was like getting a meal or eating something from Del Taco and you spent all this money, but you're not full. Just eating.
Great.
I just spent like $12, $15 and I bought all these tacos and all these burritos and churros, and I got the bubble guts, and I'm still hungry.
It's a lot of empty calories there.
Still hungry, yeah.
Right? Although I did enjoy every second that we got to see Steven do his thing, because Steven, he was just swagged out the whole time.
Right.
Ooh, he was feeling himself. And then like the writing was really good too. It just felt like, all right, all this stuff happened, but what we're used to the Marvel universe being so connected. How does this connect to everything else that's happening in the MCU? And although they keep on saying, well, we wanted to be a standalone thing. I'm sorry, but Marvel, this is what you created your whole universe like.
Yeah.
Everything is connected. So so Moon Knight being so disconnected from everything, whereas like Winter Soldier, not Winter Soldier, but Falcon and Winter Soldier being so connected to MCU, WandaVision, Loki, especially Loki, Hawkeye, especially Hawkeye, all these shows like presented themselves to building for the next big phase of the MCU, whereas Moon Knight was like, all right, here you go. You wanted Moon Knight, we gave it to you.
Yeah.
Right.
I thought it was real. Like, one of the big questions I had was how ambiguous the timeline was. Like, was it pre-snap, post-snap, during the snap? Like, we never really got an answer. And then there's one little Easter egg that, like, I had to look up. I'm sure no one really knew. Is there's a bus that goes by that says the GRC on it, which is the Global Repatriation Council after the snap, and that's the only reference to it. So
Okay.
That's
it
from Falcon
really
and Winter
stands
Soldier.
alone.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, Falcon and Winter Soldier, but I didn't even catch that at all.
No,
I heard somebody mention that, but I didn't catch it personally. I never saw that myself.
I never did either. It's just a blinking, like, how many ads for companies are in these movies, really?
I have a really weird idea, because you just said the GRC, so that kind of does put it like in this particular timeline. But when she said that she had an avatar once who was perfectly balanced, I didn't really think about it until I rethought about the episode, like after hearing, like going back and listening to another podcast talk about some of the earlier episodes. But for some random reason, all of a sudden Thanos popped into my mind, because who's the one person that likes everything perfectly balanced?
Right. Yeah. I did kind of piece that together too, but I thought that if they were gonna do, I was gonna say
they're earthbound.
Right.
These
exactly.
aren't like intergalactic.
Yeah, you might pull something reaching like that, Matt.
Yeah, but either way, I mean, if you're gonna do that, but you're not gonna use actual Mistress Death, that's fucked up. Like, that's
Exactly.
Yeah, you got to have Mistress Death before you have Amit.
And Christian,
Just to
what about you,
backpedal
bro?
a little bit
Oh, go ahead.
on the scene where they just blacks out Soprano style and Mark and Steven don't know what happened. I felt like that was just a call from like accounting, like, hey, how can we just like have this big epic fight scene and then just not show anything? Like, oh yeah, just hard cut it. Easy.
That was my biggest biggest issue with it. Like
Same.
I felt like that would have been such a better, like more like grand introduction to Jake. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love that end credit scene. You know, it kind of showed how ruthless Jake can be, but like, come on, like we all wanted to see that ass whooping, you know, and like, could you imagine if they do like a slow motion of him, like you're like seeing the cameras on his face and you're seeing him change, and it's like, oh shit, there he is, his eyes rolled back, and then it's like you got your proper introduction.
Yeah, and they did some really cool edits where, you know, it'd be Mark Spector MoonKnight costume and the camera would pan and it would come back and it would be Mr. Knight. And, you know, if they did something like during a fight scene like that, I agree. That would be really cool. It's like every time you kind of can't pan the camera, he's a different Moon Knight.
Right. Yeah.
Christian, what about you, bro? What'd you think about the last episode and overall the finale?
I enjoyed it for what it was. I did agree with some of y'all's points about the CGI. You could really tell, like, especially when it was up close on Moon Knight, when he was changing into Moon Knight. And I also read something earlier about, they said that the director said that he had 2 crossovers that he was going to put in the beginning and the end. He said there was 2 crossovers, but he said he left them out for whatever reason. He just said that he left them out because he didn't feel like he needed them in there. So he's still like really strong on this being like a standalone thing. He doesn't want it. It's not that he doesn't want it to be part of the MCU. He just wants it to be what it is. But it is disappointing that it kind of. I get your point about Jake Lockley about the way they cut him out, but that's the way they did in the beginning when they didn't show Mark Spector. Like
that's true.
They showed Stephen Grant and he would black out and you wouldn't know what happened, and then he'd wake up and he'd be Stephen again. So they're kind of doing that with Jake.
Sure, that wasn't Jake instead. I don't know. I feel like.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, because I mean, we'll talk about that probably at the end. You know, when Khonshu's telling Harrow about, you know, he's like, these fools think that they're in control of stuff and they're not. He's like,
that shit was wild.
That's true. Yeah,
your boy's in control for sure.
Like, he doesn't know how messed up he really is.
Exactly.
Like, damn.
But I mean,
that was beautiful.
But that's the thing. Like, I want to, like, it did, like everybody's saying, like, it kind of left me unfulfilled because now I want to see what Jake Lockley's about.
Yeah,
I think there's some time before we see Moon Knight again, too, man. Like, where does he fit in? Where do you see him again?
There's also another thing that they're saying, that they talked to Oscar Isaac and he said that there wasn't going to be another season. But
it's the same stuff with Star Wars. He sounds like he doesn't want to kind of get locked down to a contract, which, you know, the Marvel and Lucasfilm, that's what they want.
They're all about that shit.
Yeah, they got to lock you in for a couple films, and I think that was the only reason why Oscar even agreed to it. Even though I personally wanted my boy Shia LaBeouf, I thought he would have been.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But yeah, I mean, Oscar is great, but I think the only reason he did it is because of the whole limited series, you know, caveat, and he didn't have to sign, you know, get locked down to a contract because he.
But yeah, maybe in a year or two down the road. Maybe in a year or two down the road, they throw more money at him, do another, you know, 6 episodes or something.
Yeah, another series on his own, or you know, work him into, you know, what's the project that Echo's doing? You know, there's a lot.
Midnight
there's a lot
Suns?
Is that what it? Well,
I thought there was the girl Echo, who's gonna have her own series.
Oh
yeah.
I thought you
don't time into that. That's gonna be a secret ship.
I don't think we ever see that.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah. Well, there's so many other future future things that he could probably pop into. You know, that they're talking about, like maybe even Black Panther or something like that. You know.
Well, word is that it's Blade. That he's most likely to pop in with Blade because it's another mystical character, right?
Yeah.
So they're saying
makes the most sense. Yeah.
And then Werewolf by Night is getting, I think, like a short animated or something like that on Disney Plus. So I think they're definitely leaning more towards that. So Moon Knight would definitely fit in with that. but we would have to have Oscar back, unless he's lying. I mean, they've done that shit before too, where they're lying that he's not signed up to
Money
do something else.
speaks. Money talks, baby.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
I think eventually you can get into a Pedro Pascal Mandalorian situation where he just lends his voice and you're just in the Moon Knight costume often.
I would be totally down with that. Like,
Yeah.
because there was a huge lack of Moon Knight in Moon Knight. We all know that, the costume, right?
I saw that I saw somebody said that on Reddit, that they were saying they should have just called this the Stephen Grant and Mark Spector show instead of Moon Knight.
There's always going to be haters, but they did a great job of transitioning throughout the fight, like J. Rue had brought up, switching back and forth. This one, I'm just going to hit the same nail over the head. A little lackluster this episode. Left me wanting more. Left me feeling unsatisfied for the first time in my life. No, it's fine. But yeah, man, like I was actually a fan of the kaiju type fight. I'm a stand for that shit. So it got me. But yeah, other than that, man, it was honestly probably one of the weakest episodes I think that we got out of the whole entire series, which is crazy.
It didn't feel like a finale.
No, not at all.
That's what I wanted to say. I feel like they showed their hand, and we're looking at getting season 2. Honestly, to be honest, the way it ended, they just unraveled the third identity. I think they set us up for season 2, and I think Oscar is just lying to us, like Oscar said. One Oscar's telling the truth, the other one's lying. Okay, so I think we'll get him back.
Oscar got the inside knowledge.
I got the inside knowledge. Us Oscars know each other, man. We all know each other.
Yeah, don't you all guys know each other?
We all know each other. You guys want to know what's up with the Grouch? I got it.
So what did you guys feel about like at the ending with Harrow and the reveal of Lockley? How did you guys feel about it? Did you guys like it, not like it? What was going on exactly in your mind?
It was cool to get the kind of callback to episode 1 with the whole glass that we talked about in his shoes. I was wondering, I was like, was that a plot device of some point? Are we going to come back to it? And they used it to showcase that it was a kind of an illusion or whatever, and Harrow is actually the one that was fucked, so I thought that was pretty brilliant. I enjoyed that.
Yeah. Do you think that was part of Amit's full power? Was the power of illusion there? Because Mark never transitioned into the weird like asylum until after he was shot in the head and presumed dead.
Oh, I shot in the head. He'd be dead.
But then when he comes back, like from the dead, he still has that last vision of what inside the hospital. You know what I mean? So
yeah, it was the chest, not the head, like J. Rue said.
Yeah.
I think it's Khonshu pulling the strings here, making the illusion and everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely think that's what it is too.
Yeah,
especially because Harrow and all of Mark's personalities all end up there at that asylum at some point.
Well, I disagree only because remember when Mark was dead, Khonshu couldn't. He was like, I don't sense his presence around, so there was no way for him to be able to do those things.
I don't know about you, but I don't trust that guy too much.
I feel like Khonshu does nothing but fucking.
Oh, but think about it. He was just like, "Yo, where's Mark? I don't sense him here," because he would have immediately went to Mark and been like, "Yo, we need to get to work." But
yeah, let's kill him.
Dilla first.
Yeah.
Then it was like, "Nah, I'm not messing with you like that." And Khonshu was like, "Well, shit, man. Mark is dead. You're here. I need your help to help. Fight old girl." And she was like, "Still, no, I'm not gonna help you." And then she changed her mind, but whatever. And then
can we get the Scarlet Scarab instead?
Scarlet's
with no Scarlet.
I liked it.
No Scarlet whatsoever.
All Scarab, no Scarlet.
All Scarab. Yeah, but
I think the costume she had did have some red on it. It looked like one of like the Eternals mixed with like some Egyptian stuff going on.
You know what? Though?
Totally
I wasn't a huge fan, bro. I thought
with
it was
some Wonder Woman in 1984.
That's what I got. That vibe.
I didn't like it. I thought they were like trying to do like a female Falcon type thing, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
I wasn't a fan.
Should have made her more unique. Like Hippo doesn't have fucking wings. Why would that have wings? What the fuck?
I'm telling you, it's like some shit didn't really make sense with this episode. Honestly, though, if I'm being completely honest, I feel like this wasn't meant to be the ending because I was really confused at the end. I thought that I was like, this isn't the season finale or the series finale. I think that there's another episode and they're lying. you know. But I think they ran out of fucking money or something. And they just were like, no, this is the ending. But I was very confused because with that Jake Lockley thing, I really believed that what they were going to do was kind of like Upgrade, where they were gonna just show you each time that this dude took over,
But
and
is
he just
Disney
started
gonna
kicking ass.
is Disney gonna show that though?
But they should though. I mean, I feel like
Oh,
they
we know
really
that they should.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, it's like, look, bro. At this point, you already own Deadpool. You own
yeah.
Blade. I mean, come on now. You know,
Well-
it's time. It's time. And you got Daredevil and all those other Marvel Netflix ones on your Disney Plus. You got that fucking code now. Let's use it. You know, it's time. Like this should have been the one.
I'll go ahead and say, just like I just saw Doctor Strange, and like they go for it there. Like
I heard
as far as the gore and everything. Dave, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Wait, what? You watched it already?
Yeah, I just got back from it.
Oh shit! You lucky mofo.
Yeah, he's in the future. Remember, he's 2 hours ahead of us.
Yeah, I forgot about that shit.
He's doing like some
Damn.
future shit. He's on another level.
Yeah. Well,
Damn.
Jay, we stay on with me after so we could talk a little bit.
Yeah, so
about
I mean,
that.
there's
Oh,
nothing.
you gotta try to get the
Just more to
spoiler
that
review?
point.
I'm
there's
out, dude. I'm out.
Just more to that point. There's
No
nothing
sharing
holding
spoilers in
Disney
the
back
chat
from doing
shit.
those kinds of things anymore.
Yeah.
Like you said, they already own everything, so
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just time
let's
for
get
them
it.
to push it, though. It really is, because I feel like that was that moment where they need to push it. You know, now that Jake Lockley's here and he's gonna be that guy, it was total upgrade moment. I knew as soon as I saw him there, I was like, oh, this is the guy that's the reason.
I want to ask a question.
Go for it.
Dave might. Oh, hold on. Dave might be able to answer over there. Why in the fuck is Jake Lockley only speaking Spanish? I don't remember that shit.
I didn't know if he was just speaking. To be honest, I didn't even know it was Spanish. I thought, you know, because it looked like they're in Dubai. You know, like when the limo was leaving. I don't know if that was Dubai, but it was like a big city. So I didn't pick up.
It didn't
that was
seem like
Spanish
Spanish
at all.
it didn't seem like it was Spanish at first, but some of the words I knew as Spanish, unless like maybe it's a mix of languages.
I
don't
know the reason why.
Portuguese, because you know Portuguese is
Portuguese.
I know the reason why.
Why?
It's because Oscar Isaac is from what the fuck am I trying to say?
Guadalajara.
No, he's from Guatemala.
Guatemala.
Yeah,
And
they
that's why?
And my family's from El Salvador, so we know that we all speak fucked up Spanish. That's why you guys didn't
So they're
recognize
like,
it.
just speak your native tongue.
Yeah, it's exactly what he did. I bet you anything they said, bro, you can have 3 personalities, 2 of them have to speak English, the third one, it's fuck all whatever you want. And he was like, bro, I'm gonna speak Spanish. Okay, why? You're playing an Egyptian. Because I'm Oscar Isaac.
That totally makes sense, because he actually brought up, you know, the whole Stephen Randall being with the British accent. Like that was Oscar Isaac's idea to the director, to give him that British accent. So like,
yeah,
I could totally see. Yeah, that totally
To
makes
show
sense.
his range.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the same thing goes, because he probably just decided to pick that out from the Deadpool comics, because in the Deadpool comics, Deadpool has 3 personalities. It's the one that's in control. There's the one that's kind of proper, telling him that he's doing stupid shit, which he said sounds like somebody that he knows. And then the other one sounds kind of like a baby, kind of stupid, you know, like is always going with his stupid ideas. So he probably just picked that up and decided to just change out accents and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's just a way for him to differentiate between the 3, and
Yeah.
Oscar Isaac being Spanish speaking. He's just like, well, this is what I can do. I think it was probably a choice by him more than anything, if I had to guess.
Wasn't Jake Lockley originally like a New York cabbie? So
Yeah,
he'd have
yes.
like a New York, Boston accent probably.
Yeah, but that
that's
was
right.
more like Mark Spector. Mark Spector seemed like he was like from the East Coast, like he had a
Yeah,
type
well,
of
this Moon
accent.
Knight's a little more worldly, man.
Yeah.
Maybe he
Yeah.
couldn't pull off
He's
the
a-
Boston
he's
accent,
cultured.
so he's like, let's just do this
He's
Spanish
cultured.
thing instead.
this Moonlight actually makes.
But what did he say that was in Spanish? Because I don't remember. I didn't hear him say anything in Spanish.
He
I
said
think he
something
delivered
like-
all of his lines in
Yeah.
Spanish.
Yeah.
He said something like to the nurse, like, just be chill, like be chill.
Calm
Yeah.
down. Yeah.
Tranquilo.
Yeah.
He said tranquilo, and
Tranquila,
tranquilo is like
tranquila.
calm
Yeah.
down.
Wait, is
Yeah.
there like
Well,
a
he
whole
also
other
sucks.
spot I missed? The only part I saw was him in the car with the dude.
Bro,
That
he
room
goes
when
and
he
picks up
picked up
Harold
Harold?
from the
Yeah.
asylum. Did you
Yeah.
miss
Yeah,
all
he
that?
takes
Oh yeah,
it.
yeah. Okay, when he's in the black suit. Yeah, no, I get it. Okay.
And I would have
Yeah.
never
See?
known this unless I read it.
Underwhelming.
But
No.
Right.
you know, Oscar Isaac even made the choice to like whistle a Guatemalan song while he's wheeling him out of the hospital.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
that's
I did not
know
You
that.
see, I didn't know
Okay.
that. Okay, that said it all right there. Okay, so
well,
he
why did
definitely
you
just
start
brought
with
it
that, Jay? Jesus.
I didn't know that. I don't speak
I
Spanish,
loved
let
how he
alone
kicked that
whistle it.
wheelchair too. I love that part. I was like,
He
this
seemed
guy's
pissed.
so unhinged, you know.
Yeah. It was very Sicario shit.
No,
Like
yeah.
honestly, as soon as I saw him, I was like, oh yeah, this is the guy. This is the reason Khonshu won't let him go. Because I always thought it was weird that Khonshu wanted this fist of justice, but it was from two people's personalities that didn't really want to fight anymore. It didn't seem like the ideal choice. But then now I see it's because he saw the third personality who really wants to kill, which
Jake
is what he's all
Lockley
about. Yeah.
is
Makes me
like
want to
his
know
attack
even
dog.
more, like where, because you know how we got Steven's backstory,
Mhm.
how he was created. Now I
Mhm.
want to know Jake's backstory.
Yeah.
How was he created?
I imagine
Well,
we'll get it.
Didn't
Yeah.
they kind of say that in the last episode where they were saying they didn't exactly say, but you know,
That's what
I don't-
people were
he would black
insinuating.
out when he was younger and he didn't know why. You know,
But
Well, it's like a
think that
coping mechanism.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. But it was
Just
kind of yeah, it's kind of like Split, like the movie Split, like where
Yeah.
he actually tells you how quite a few of his personalities came to be, but it was from different reasons.
yeah,
Like he said that one was super clean and very methodical, and the reason why was because his mom used to beat him because his room wasn't clean. Right.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that we're gonna get a backstory on that as to why Jake Lockley came about. I think that it might have something to do with once he was an adult, though. Like, and he started to
Really?
see killing. I think so. You're right. Yeah, because he was in the. He said he
With
was
the
in the
military
army, right? In
training?
the military.
yeah.
There
when
you
he
go.
was
So
in the
I think
military.
he couldn't cope with seeing some of the horrible shit he saw. So he created a personality that could handle that. In fact, liked it. And I think that's what that's going to
Oh,
happen. And
shit.
yeah.
And
right. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
did we ever get any answers about Bushmaster and his phone? We never got anything else.
Bushman.
Nah.
Bushman, sorry, Bushmaster's in
You made the same
Bushmaster.
mistake as me last time. No, we didn't. And we didn't get no Duchamp either. But last time, I think we kind of touched on that with Dave when he was here, because we kind of brought it up that maybe that personality was made when he was younger to protect, as the protector, because we know that Steven won't. You know, Steven is like coward almost. You know,
Passive,
he's
yeah.
like
He's a nice guy.
coward, but you also said that he's like very clean and organized and stuff like that. Smart, obviously, too. Mark's kind of almost just the one that has been like taking all the stress. He's more like beaten and battered. And I mean, I guess we don't really know Mark's true personality because we don't know how much of Mark's personality is actually Jake's personality, where Jake is the violent.
Right.
Who knows that? Because I think Jake was created when he was younger, because that's what led him to go do mercenary work and stuff like that. That side of his personality was what enabled him to be able to do that kind of mercenary work and work alongside somebody like Bushman. He had to know that Bushman was a bad guy while working with them, and then it just took something like to fracture all his psyches that brought that change to where he was like actively battling himself too, instead of like each personality taking a turn. He was like having all the personalities like meshing for control at that point. You know, something changed.
Yeah.
Maybe
So
contact Khonshu.
Do you think there's more personalities?
I don't know,
Who knows?
but who knows? Who knows?
There could be, but you know, if you're kind of going off of the comics, like you know the OG comics, it's just the three of them. I think in some of the like the newer runs, there's some like you know one or two
think
maybe
more
other
Sprinkle another one in when it's
personas or
convenient.
weird ones. Yeah,
Okay.
I do gotta say, like, what you call it, when Mark was talking to Steven to like go get him, that was honestly like kind of touching. What he said, and I pulled it up right here. I survived because I knew I wasn't alone. You were always there, full of hope. Mark tells Steven, and it says, "You didn't abandon me, and there's no way in hell I'm ever gonna abandon you."
Oh
I
yeah,
was just like, "Damn,
that's beautiful.
that's
Yeah.
some real ass shit right there."
I
was
think
like,
that's
"Whew."
why the last episode was the best episode, because that one
Yeah.
you really connected. Because at that point, you still kind of saw them both as separate people. Well, maybe not separate, but like as one person, but that's just really fucked up. But in that episode, you kind of realize that they need each other and they love each other. And I thought that was like really sweet, you know? Then you actually start to love Steven as an actual person, not just as a personality, you know. And then when he dies at the end of that, you're really heartbroken. So you're happy that they're together again, even if that means that he's not balanced. Maybe that's his balance.
Yeah.
But I think that's why that last episode was so good, and I feel like that, you know, kind of got overshadowed in this last one, the very serious finale.
Yeah.
That's a question I had also. Why do you think he is able to get balanced if he had a third personality that's still unhinged and not like even known about? Is it because it's not known? That's why he was able to balance?
It wasn't balanced until Steven died. So
maybe because there was two sides now instead of three?
Yeah, I think that's what it was. There was two rather than three. Maybe for whatever reason the third heart wasn't there because the third personality wasn't along with them. That's why they weren't able, because she wasn't able to pull out all three hearts. Maybe if she was able to pull out all three hearts, they all would have been balanced. Maybe that's why it was unbalanced. Because Mark, well, I don't think Mark and Lockley are opposites. I feel like if anything, Steven and Lockley are opposites. What happened?
It might have had.
He said, I didn't think they really think about that part.
I mean, they probably didn't. They probably
Do
didn't.
you think it had something to do with, you know, because I guess that was, you know, at the end of episode 4, the start of episode 5, where you see, you know, the red sarcophagus, the kind of third one. Do we think maybe, you know, if that was the third persona, say if that was Jake, that was
keeps it kind of locked away.
And then so he was never subjected to, you know, having that third heart weight. It was almost like an ignorance is bliss, like you you said, Matt.
Exactly.
Like he didn't. They don't know about him yet, you know.
Right.
Exactly.
Or maybe he was just so hidden away, so deep somewhere where even the gods can't see him. And maybe that's why Khonshu likes him so much, right? Because he has like some cards to play that even a god can't sense him. And maybe he has something more that we just haven't seen yet too. Because he seems really hardcore. So I would imagine that him wearing the Moon Knight costume or whichever one he has, we're gonna see some shit.
I want to see that black and white outfit, the one with like armor
the
and
crescent.
shit.
Yeah,
I want to see that as his suit.
Did anybody notice Khonshu seemed way more confident too when he was in the back of that car?
Oh yeah.
Oh, he was like
he was wearing the Mr. Knight suit, right?
Yeah, he was like a shot caller. Yeah, he was wearing the fucking.
He was letting Hiro know that he's actually the one that's in control of all of this.
Yeah.
He was like on some mob boss shit.
Total flex.
He was sitting back there like.
Yeah, but going back to
he had the suit, but it also looked like it was like getting distressed as well. It looked like it had some age to it. It was kind of like dark in certain areas and stuff. It was kind of cool. Like it had his own personal flair to it.
Yeah. Well, I was saying, like, going back to your question though, like I also think that if you go back to that episode where they went to the hospital, right? Because that's all in his head. Mark did see Jake. Him and Steven did see Jake, but they decided not to open that coffin. They didn't want to open it. Like for whatever reasons they didn't want to open it. So it's not like they never saw him. It's probably just ignorance. It's like, oh, what is that? Oh, whatever it is. I don't want to deal with that. It looks kind of scary. Let me just keep on walking. Yeah. But he was there the entire time, you know, like he's always been there.
Yeah.
That's the part that, you know, the unbalancing part, like what Jade said, I don't think they really thought too much about that because think about it, the scale has how many parts? Just 2. So 3 would still be unbalanced if you put all 3 on there because 2 hearts would be heavier than 1. So it was.
If you're weighing the Lockley versus the Mark, with the addition of Steven, because Steven is the best of everybody, with the Mark who's like middle tier, whatever the hell he is, we don't really know. Added to, because he obviously Mark has some issues too, like he's dealt with some things, he's done some things that he regrets doing, but like him balanced with Jake is like Jake's so bad that it takes Steven and him to outweigh him or balance him or whatever.
You brought up a really good point though, right? Like remember in that same scene, right, the hospital building where Mark and Steven was walking into that room with all those dead bodies. Are those really just Mark's dead bodies? Or is that Jake's?
Yeah.
Jake's has to be. They have
what
to be
Jake's
there too.
bodies look like too, because the man got bodies.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Because Mark's like, I don't remember all these or something like that.
Oh no, he said he remembers all of them.
He said that he remembers all of them.
All the bodies.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought he said that he doesn't remember. Or
he basically said he never
all
forgets.
these yours.
Yeah.
I think Steven is like, this is a lot. Like, are these all yours? And he's like, you never forget them.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel
So-
like he doesn't show up, Jake doesn't show up until it's something that absolutely needs to get done, you know? Because I don't think he showed up in the whole series, at least not any of the times that he blacked out in the first few episodes. I
You don't
think
think
he
so?
only showed up then. I mean,
No,
I don't
I think that was
so.
no. That had to have been Jake, bro.
You
I
think
think that was
so?
Jake. Yeah, I think
Because
that was Jake.
I don't think he killed anybody. Remember, like that
No,
first
because-
episode when he blacked
Yeah,
out?
he did.
No,
he
remember
killed
when
those
he
Yeah, he
woke up on
killed-
the roof?
yeah.
Yeah.
Did he kill them? Oh, okay. Then
He
maybe
was
he
all
did.
bloody.
Yeah. So only absolutely necessary then, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that was the
I-
first time that he said like Steven,
Steven,
like
did
he
you
said,
do this?
Steven, what happened? He was like, I don't know. He's like, I thought it was you.
Right. Oh yeah, in the series finale. Yeah.
No,
No,
maybe
that was
No,
like in
it-
the second
it-
episode.
two.
Oh, was
Yeah.
it really? Oh, okay. Yeah.
He was like,
Maybe
Steve-
Mark acts
Steve
like a
was like-
secret or like a silent passenger.
Uh-huh.
Like he watches Jake do these things, but he doesn't really have full control over his body, and maybe he thinks he's doing it, but like really it's the actual personality of Jake, and he's just in the passenger seat for the ride.
Okay.
So at some points he feels like he's doing these things, but it's really not him. He's
Okay.
there
It's Jake.
to see it, but
Ooh,
he's not in
okay.
control.
Mhm.
Like the silent passenger. Yeah, if you've ever heard that. before.
Yeah, the Dexter.
Well, that's kind of dope.
Is that a Dexter reference?
That was a dark passenger, right? It was a
Dark passenger. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Yeah. What did you say?
Silent passenger.
Silent
Like
passenger.
when you're
My fault.
when you're not in control of your body or your actions, kind of like,
Okay.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
I've used that excuse a time or two.
Usually
So-
alcohol is used as an excuse, not
Yeah.
supernatural, but we'll go with supernatural in this one.
So
We
real
usually
quick, how
call that
do
a
you
whiskey
think,
drunk.
With the mixture of alcohol, because we saw him waking up in Egypt with the bottle of alcohol and stuff, you know what I mean?
how do you think they could have tied this in a little bit better with the MCU? Me personally, I think if we maybe would have got a Doctor Strange at least appear
Mhm.
during the fight, maybe like he appears at the end or something, or a Wong
The
because he's the
Eternals?
new sorcerer. Okay, there we go, Eternal something.
You telling me that a
Blade.
god for
Blade
3,000
drop. Yeah,
years
Blade
didn't
drop.
mention some fucking beings that came from the sky, like that have been here since ancient Sumerian times before?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
That could have been something. You know,
Come on, man.
I think they're going to stay far, far away from Eternals as far as they possibly.
Yeah, after that flop.
Really? I thought it was pretty decent.
It wasn't as bad as everybody makes it out to be. I feel like.
yeah, I agree.
Shit. They wouldn't have done shit.
I mean,
Yeah,
no,
you
they,
thought-
they wouldn't have done shit, no, but I feel like you still would have seen one, though, you know,
Just
especially
to
that they
tie-
were
just to tie it
building
in.
I'm like, oh
civilization.
wow,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm getting fucked up. All right.
yeah, right. I mean, to be honest with you, they kind of fucking shot themselves in the foot with the Eternals by doing that whole we're just pass buyers just looking and shit.
Watching, oh, we're watching.
Yeah, that wasn't that was never like Eternal shit. You know, that's not how it worked. That's why that was kind of a fucking fail, is because that should have been way more integral. You know what I mean? But
Right.
I mean, the issue there was that they fucked themselves over because in Endgame they didn't show up, and they didn't show up because they hadn't thought about it yet.
That basically that.
Yeah.
No, because they don't get involved.
People.
You don't get them.
Come on.
They weren't ready for sex yet in the Disney world. Okay, that's why. It took a couple more years.
All right.
Man,
So-
I'm trying to think, how would they add that? Like, I don't think there's no one on that level yet. I feel like
Yeah.
MoonKnight he's kind of like past our street level hero now, especially MCU MoonKnight. MoonKnight has moved past that. Dude was flying.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
That
He
is
straight was
true.
flying like
Like he
Superman.
jumped up
First
and
he was flying in comic books like that.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing about
And
it.
he's taking
from
spears to
very
the chest
beginning.
and shit, and still
Yeah.
like nothing.
Yes.
Yeah, because that wasn't him in the comics. In the comics, he was just Batman.
A suit in a suit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was just
Batman, yep.
Marvel's Batman. Exactly. That's why when
Gadgets,
I
yeah.
first saw it, right? Yeah, I was like, what's up with that? Like he's like he can actually like survive getting shot and shit like that now. Like he's a superhero, like a real superhero with
Yeah.
powers.
I didn't mind it, but it was just like, all right, so how could we add him into the MCU and make him more integral? We don't have a character that's on that level yet.
Mm.
That
It has to be an Avengers level threat.
Oh
you
yeah,
know.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it would have to be until we get Blade,
Mm-hmm.
until we get
Yeah.
Ghost Rider,
Yeah. Ghost
Black
Rider.
Knight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, until we get all those guys in there, like Moon Knight is kind of like an outlier. Like he would
Yeah.
have to be part of an Avengers level threat to
Yeah.
really include it.
They're gonna be the Midnight Suns type
And-
of level of threat. That's what it's gonna be. Like something like
whenever-
Dracula.
Ooh,
You know.
Mephisto.
Oh yeah, there you
Mephisto-
go.
Well, whenever they do it, that team is going to be stacked as fuck because like Moon Knight, he's already pretty fucking strong, dude.
Yeah. But that shows you exactly the type of threat that they would go against. It would have to be threats where even the Avengers can't take them on. Dracula, Mephisto, Blackheart, shit like that. You know, like things where it's not even on a level where Moon Knight or Blade or Ghost Rider could take them on alone because they're so fucking OP already. It would have to be something even more OP.
See, but that's where I start having problems with that because Thor, I feel like Thor has some connection with that type of shit, but I mean, not just him, but Doctor Strange.
Right.
So maybe would Doctor Strange be the gap between the Avengers and
There's
the
a pretty
Suns?
recent
I think so.
Avengers run where Moon Knight basically can control Mjolnir because it's made out of moonstone.
That's such
Yeah,
bullshit,
that's
but that's
right.
just that one run. That's such
Yeah,
bullshit.
I mean that's a
but-
recent run though,
Yeah.
on purpose, you know.
Yeah,
They've
no.
honestly said that shit about everything. At some point, this thing was created from a
I've
star. Another
picked
one
up
was-
fucking Mjolnir. What
Yeah.
are you talking about, bro?
Exactly. No, everybody can pick up Mjolnir now. It's like every single fucking person. Last I heard, they were saying the Squirrel Girl could do it. It's just that she didn't want to. I'm like, what? Like, nah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I really doubt that he could do that. But I mean, that's what I saw. But that you're right though. I feel like the gap, the bridge would be Doctor Strange for mythical things. But he's done that before. Yeah, he's been part of like Midnight Suns or Defenders type of level of shit like that. So I mean, he could do that. And then I feel like eventually the same goes for cosmic things. I know right now it's the Guardians, but later it could be Silver Surfer or Fantastic Four because they're definitely heading that way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we wouldn't see him with like the Punisher as like
No.
See,
If they
I
were gonna
feel
do
like-
that, they would have had to have the dude who made Daredevil make this one and make him Batman. You know, that would have been sick. I would have liked to see that.
yeah.
Unless you
I
just
feel
get
like we
Jake
could still get that though.
Yeah.
If we got a second season, say, and it's back in the States and he is doing the street level stuff now, right? Because Mark and Steven were technically released by Khonshu, right? Even
right.
even
So
though
you just get your Jake Lockley and Punisher, or Jake Lockley and Daredevil.
I
right.
just feel like I don't really understand what kind of threat a normal human could, give someone like Moon Knight at this point. You know,
Right.
Yeah, see, that's where I'm kind of
He's
like
killed a lot of
discouraged
people. He's
little
got
bit.
a lot of enemies.
Oh yeah, yeah.
True.
I mean, but even then, it's like all they can do is go after someone that he loves, but it's not on the same level as someone like Daredevil and the Punisher, where
Yeah,
maybe
I
it's
just-
harder to kill them, but you can.
Well-
But they usually, they'll go after your world.
Think about it. We got Bushman still to wrap up.
Yeah.
We got Randall who can make an
Randall.
appearance as Shadow Knight. We got all the avatars, the different avatars of the gods who all have beef with each other. Obviously, we've seen they don't get along well.
That's true.
We can bring out any of the gods that have been locked up out of the 30 odd gods that were on that shelf. And we got plenty of stuff just right there.
Werewolf.
For 4 seasons of Moon Knight right there.
Werewolf, yeah.
And then add in Blade, Midnight Suns, whatever. Go from there.
Yeah.
But we got plenty of content for Moon Knight just to keep him rolling along. We could even go just make it all a fucking dream in his head. Season 5, it's all a fucking dream.
See,
It never happened. You know what I mean? And then if it didn't do well,
Wasted your
we pawn
time.
it all. Flash style.
but we were kind of talking about this last week that it just seems like it's too much just to wrap up in one episode, and we ended up being right. I was wondering like how in the fuck are they going to wrap it up, and it just seems like not everything was wrapped
their
up.
intention.
Yeah, they definitely suffered from the Game of Thrones syndrome where they wrapped it up way too fast. They just didn't really understand what they were about to do, and they just they blew their wad too fast.
Maybe
But the
it's
difference
just-
between Game of Thrones is we knew this was going to happen with this series because we're like 6 episodes, and on the 5th episode you left it that wide open. We know you're not going to wrap
Showed
it in
your
45
hand.
minutes.
Yeah.
We know
Yeah.
definitively.
well, it's for
Also,
the season 2.
one of the things Dave had an issue with is one of the main things that we thought we would see was those cutscenes. We always thought we were going to see pieces of those cutscenes. That was one of our biggest wants and one of our biggest predictions going forward from episode 1. We were like, oh, it'd be really cool if we saw just little glimpses of what happened in between when we
How
didn't
he,
see it.
how he asked that girl out on the date, in
How he
episode
killed those dudes in the
1.
ice cream truck. Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. All the
Yeah.
cool scenes that we're missing out on. We just wanted glimpses of that. You don't have to spend the whole
shit.
5 freaking minutes,
What if it was Jake that asked out the girl? Wait, no,
Well,
but it would have been in
no,
Spanish.
just-
No,
yeah,
never
he
mind. It had
calling
to have been
Mark.
Mark.
Yeah,
But
That
Jake
would
could be
be
so fucking smart that he's playing them all.
yeah.
So he says his
Or
name's
the-
Mark. He says his name's Steven. He's
But
the
she
one
never
actually living
mentioned
most
that-
of the life, you know?
What happened to your Spanish accent? She never said that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That is true. That is one thing.
Maybe he's good at accents.
It could have been Jake who asked out the lady in the first episode.
Oh, okay. Well,
Mark
maybe.
asked her out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have seemed a little out of character for him because why, right? He didn't really want
He's
that.
trying to, he has a wife that he's divorcing. He's not going to go pick up on chicks.
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah,
a Mark
exactly.
thing.
Well,
Yeah.
I say let's
That's
end
definitely
it
a
here.
Jake thing.
Let's end it here. Let's rate. Let's
Wait.
rate our episode. Oh, go ahead. All right.
Okay.
Rate the season. What's up?
Before we rate the season, do you guys think we get a season 2? What do you think?
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Guaranteed.
I think we get a season 2.
Even without Oscar Isaac not wanting to wanting to get hooked into contracts, you think we'll still
I,
get him?
I,
Oh, they're gonna throw a couple zeros on that check. He'll do it.
Yeah.
Well, this is
All right.
how you do it too. You go, hey man, just come do 6 episode limited series.
We'll do
We're not gonna
limited
tie you
run
down
again.
for 6 movies over 10 years. Like, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Does Moon Knight win any awards for this series? Does Oscar
Nope.
Isaac win any
Nope.
awards? Does anybody
No.
win awards?
not at all.
No.
He might get a nom, just because of the character,
And the acting, he was acting his ass off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was, but it was definitely not up there. I
He'll
don't
get a
see
head
no
nod.
Emmys.
That's it.
Let me see that room. Let me see that room, Mark. You want to see that, Steven?
People will probably take his accent as like hamming it up too much. Huh?
Probably. Yeah.
No,
Like,
I loved
slack.
it, but you know how they are, like how the Academy is with superhero stuff. They always poo poo on it.
Well, yeah, you got fucking Scorsese
less
over
than-
there talking shit on us. And
Yeah,
fucking
it's always less than.
Nolan over there throwing
Yeah.
shade, even though he started this whole damn thing.
Exactly.
Fuck
But you
all
know
that.
what?
I started the best fucking
Yeah.
superhero movies. Now I'm gonna shit all over superhero movies.
They can say whatever they want though, but they will never tell me that Daredevil from Netflix was a bad show. All 3 of those seasons are fucking phenomenal. So if they didn't win anything, that's okay because they know what the deal is.
Mhm.
True. So let's go ahead and start from the top of my screen. What we're gonna rate the overall season. 0 through 10. Matt.
7 out of 10. Sorry to say.
No, that's
very
fine.
highs, very lows. The good parts were really good. The low parts were really bad, and it ended up bringing up way more questions than it ended up resolving. Which I don't mind if we get season 2, but if we never get season 2, then
That's
Poo-poo.
okay too.
no, it's not good. It's bad because they really set us up for season 2, and if we don't get anything after this, I'm gonna be highly disappointed because, like you all said, we didn't get enough Moon Knight. I feel like they could have pumped a little bit more money into this overall. I think they probably paid a lot for Oscar Isaac, and that's where we get the lacking CGI. But overall, I think the story was pretty good up until the end where it kind of went off the rails. And I think they could have, if they had 8 or 10 episodes to really flesh this thing out, I think it could have been, an 8 or 9 out of 10 for sure.
Okay, Jade.
7.6 out of 10 personalities.
Alrighty. And damn. And then
You've
Christian.
been holding on to that all show or what, Jade?
Pretty much.
I'll give it an 8. I liked it. It wasn't what I was expecting because, like you guys said, I've always heard of Moon Knight because I don't know anything about Moon Knight. I just heard stuff, and I heard that he always does stuff like he's like a Batman. He's like Marvel's Batman, and this wasn't like that. So, but I enjoyed it for what it was, for the story, and I really enjoyed Oscar Isaac's acting. So, I'll give it an 8.
All right, Dave.
You know what? I'll give it an 8 too, and I think a lot of that, kind of stems from, when the show is, getting ready. I was like, just all over this show. I'm like, this is my most excited thing for the year. Like out of movies, shows, everything. Really looking forward to that. So I was like, all right, I got to pump the brakes a little bit because I don't want to, get too hyped and then the movie just be like kind of okay, but and then I think it sucks because I'm so jacked up about it. So I kind of harnessed my expectations, and I think that kind of helped because I wasn't expecting a whole lot either. And the finale, they didn't stick it, but I really enjoyed everything else. So, and I think it's the best MCU film that they've done. It's my favorite. So,
All right. And Geeky?
I'm gonna give it a 8.75. Like it's really high up there. It's right below Falcon and the Winter Soldier for me. Like taking everything in and all in consideration, talking about the score, the music was amazing. The cinemas, oh look at that, love cinematography is amazing. Oscar Isaac's acting and portrayal of Mark Spector was amazing. All the supporting characters definitely helped out. It just, just like you said, man, like the finale just didn't stick it, but I was still very much entertained. Just like how Falcon and Winter Soldier didn't stick it, I was still very entertained. I watched it over and over and over. I still rated a lot higher than WandaVision for sure. Yeah, I definitely am. I wasn't like a super big Moon Knight fan before, but I am now.
I feel that. And Oscar, what about you?
All right. I think I have to be the unpopular one here. I'm going to have to give it a 6 out of 10, guys.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but look, here's my reasons why. Okay. So the thing is that I was really expecting something really special. I like we all mentioned before, I know a little bit more about Moon Knight. I read some of his comics. I'm not super into it, but I know that he is the Batman of Marvel. I feel like this was kind of an opportunity that they could have done something on Disney Plus the same way they did with Marvel on Netflix. I feel like it should have been really grounded. It should have been something like that while also exploring some supernatural shit, something outside of his comfort zone. Like he could have been doing this for years already, and then maybe something supernatural kicks in and he has to kind of learn how to deal with that as well as dealing with like some ground level type of shit, That's kind of the thing I was hoping for. That's not what I got. It felt very typical Marvel cookie cutter, I was hoping for more. And the other reason is just like I rate shows and movies off of, oh my god, like I loved it and I can't wait to see the next one. I want to binge it like right now, right? I never had that problem with these last 3 episodes. I watched them last night. I didn't even want to. Because it wasn't the show that I wanted. It wasn't
okay. Bye,
was
Oscar.
something like that. I told you
there wasn't much for cliffhangers for sure. Yeah, there wasn't. Yeah.
It
Dave's
felt like
about
there
to
was
pull a
something else
Jake
that could've
Lockley
been.
on the back of the cab right now. If you don't watch your next words,
I got Gil coming over here. Ahora sí, cabrón.
Yeah.
No, but that's my opinion. I just think a 6 is just me being a little fair. To be honest with you, it was okay. It definitely wasn't one of my favorites, but I mean these Marvel shows, I know they're in their infancy. There's still more that can be done. I hope that they really do push it. I just want to see something a little more different.
I feel you. And then as far as me, I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. It wasn't my favorite, but it definitely was one of the stronger ones, I got to say. And to echo what Geeky said, I mean, same thing. Kind of didn't stick the landing. Left a little bit more to be desired, as we've been saying all show long for like the past 45 minutes. Yeah, we wanted more. It is what it is, unfortunately, though. But hopefully they can rectify it with the season 2. But yeah, just with that season 5, episode 5, I think that's the best MCU episode, like show episode, like ever. I don't know. Maybe that's just me because I'm a sucker for like mental health type shit. But that's like some of the best right there.
7.7 in the peanut gallery overall grade.
Yeah, I would say it's about like an 8. I would say like it's like between a 7.7 to 8.
Well, Oscar
overall,
6
so
kind of
somewhere
brings
around
the
there.
curve down a little
No,
bit.
it definitely does.
I did the math.
but
It's 7.7.
It's
You ever
7.7.
been
Okay,
graded
so
on
there
a
we go.
curve?
It's still a passing grade. That's the 77%. It's still a passing
It
grade.
checks out.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
no,
checks
I
out.
think it's average. It falls along the lines of average with the potential to have been really good,
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
There's a lot
average.
of parts where they dropped the ball, particularly choreography. I think with the fight scenes that you're going to have, especially because it's Moon Knight. He's usually 1-on-1, 1-on-3, however many he's going to take on. You got to have better choreography. You got to have cleaner cuts. We've already have an expectation from these Marvel films and Marvel television series. I think we have a higher expectation from the television series, to be honest, because Falcon Winter Soldier, the choreography for that was actually pretty fucking good. Like the fights were pretty damn good. Like I always felt like there was a really tenseness about Captain America Winter Soldier. And I just don't feel like Moon Knight grabbed that same intensity, even though it should have been the stakes should have been way higher for Moon Knight because of what was going on. It never felt that way. When they're sucking the souls out of everybody, Ghostbusters style, it just didn't have any real impact on me. Just the souls floating up in these purple fucking spheres. Like, come on, dude. Like, you could have pulled that off way fucking better. That could have been fucking scary, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I bet if Sam Raimi does that in Doctor Strange, that shit's scary as fuck. Here it was like comedy almost,
That's true. I agree.
Definitely many parts where they could have just amped it up, especially with like the Asylum stuff. If you guys have seen Legion, if you haven't seen Legion, watch Legion first, and then you'll know what I'm talking about.
There you go.
Next peanut gallery, Legion. No.
Legion. Okay.
I'm down.
That's a hard one though.
1 and 2, season 1 and 2.
I'm gonna have to burn some PTO on that one, man.
So let's go ahead and do sign outs.
You're out, buddy. You're out. You need to come in.
Let's let them know where they could keep up with this at. So, Major, go ahead, start us off.
Major reaction on all platforms _IG on Instagram. Jade.
Jared Toys on Instagram every week at the Geek Out Show eventually, and Cannon Cantina will be making its comeback before you listen to this. It's actually episode is getting uploaded right now.
Woo! Nice for Revenge of the Fifth.
You trying to beat me on the episode or what?
Christian, what about you?
You can keep up with me on Instagram at GHST09, Ghost09.
All right, and Dave.
Shit just fell down. Just the Order 66 Junkie on Instagram, and then the Toy Owl podcast. Anywhere you get your podcasts.
Hell yeah, Geeky.
You guys can find me on Instagram at Geeky Fresh. Just change all the E's to 3s, and stay up to date to whatever nonsense I'd be up to.
And the Figheads.
I was gonna say, what about Figheads? You were on there last time, right?
No, but
no, I don't think he was. Yeah, he wasn't there last week.
No,
it's been a while. Like Aaron Lewis said.
But yeah, definitely check out the Figheads podcast. We try to go live on Instagram every other Sunday, and we try to come up with a show whenever CTG is ready. He's busy. He's a busy dude.
All them packages, man. All them packages.
Nah, you're now.
Oh shit! Damn.
CHP the collector now.
Oh. Yo, we gotta come up with the edit for that shit.
I'm about to tell him that shit.
And Oscar, where can we keep
if
up
you don't
with
change
that?
his name?
You can find me on Instagram, cookie_mon92. Check out Rotten Celluloid podcast.
Gil's fucking dying over there. Where can we find you, Gil?
That's
dead,
funny
bro.
as fuck, dude. Oh my god. I can't wait to fucking hear him say some shit about that. And I'm Gil. You can follow me all social media at Black Hole Comics.
You don't listen to this podcast. Come on, be real.
Yes,
I know, right? And YouTube at Black Hole Comics as well. Later.
Called either. I mean, her god is the Tweety or the hippo, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I found it. The pop is called Scarlet Scarab.
Okay, because I
Scarlet
googled
Scarab.
silver scarab, and all I got was like
Where's
nice
the
Southwest
red?
American jewelry.
Yeah, there is no red.
Oh, they already got a
It was
pop.
just
Of
all
course,
gold.
they already have a
no
Funko
red.
Pop.
There's no red.
And her hair is not even red. So what the fuck are they talking about?
Oh, Scarlet Scarab. There you go. That's what it's called.
You're a little
Stupid
late there,
because it makes
buddy.
no sense.
Oh, Scarlet Scarab. Okay, now I get it.
What?
Nice delayed reaction. All right, let me try this and see how it works. All right.
I gotta slump back.